All right, guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. We are back in the top four where we belong, thanks to our very own Marcus Rashford. Yes, we started early and we've cemented our place in the top four. I'm joined by Pat and Brush. Welcome back, Brush. Pat and Brush, how you feeling, man? Let's have a little intro here. I haven't seen you for a while, Brush. Hope you're doing well. Happy holidays and all that kind of thing. And what a great way to return to the Man United Agenda. We got 3 points today. You good, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's a very busy time of year, isn't it? So it has been a hot minute since I've been on. I hope everyone's had a wonderful Christmas. And yeah, what a way to sign off the year with 3 crucial points.
Big time. But just quickly, Brush, were you confident going into the game that we would get the 3 points?
You know what? Honestly speaking, I don't know, because obviously they were on the back of that very, very important win against Everton, and they're a hard team to break down, Wolves. The only confidence I had was that I don't think they've got any obvious goal threats, so I wasn't sure where their goals would come from, but I knew they would make it difficult for us and difficult to break down.
Yeah, they certainly did. Pat, did you enjoy the game? I mean, we're going to go into all details very soon, but how's your day? You look nice and warm and your cheeks are rosy. You're chuffed right now, eh?
I'm happy, lads. That was a must-win game, and we've won it. They're not an easy team to beat, but it feels like I've only blinked my eyes on Omundi Juma, and me and you are back here again. That's dedication to Manchester United. So let's get into this.
We are the hardest working channel in the business right now. Most definitely. We're putting it all out there. All right, guys, hope you're all tuned in watching. Before we go into the starting lineup, which I was going to talk about any minute now, we'll just talk about a sponsor here. That's GMS, Global Mapping Surveys. They assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services, such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. And if you're interested, go and check out the link in the description. That's GMS, Global Mapping Surveys. All right, let's get busy now. What a win, what a win. Starting lineup, guys. Just the starting lineup. Just curious about your thoughts, guys. Let's have a free-for-all. The obvious one here is Rashford missing. Your thoughts on that, Brush?
Well, we were told that it was due to disciplinary action. Initially, I didn't know that. When I just saw the team sheet, I assumed maybe it was just a bit of rotation, because we've got Bournemouth on Tuesday. I thought it was just game management. But yeah, turned out to be a disciplinary issue. But even then, the manager saw fit to make the change and trusted him to come on, and he delivered.
So are you saying you would have been quite content if it was a rotation issue then?
Yeah, it wouldn't really bother me. I'm just happy that we've got a coach who is fully in charge, and he sets out certain standards that everybody has to follow. And also, he's not an authoritarian on a power trip where he's going to isolate you out. He's still going to give you opportunities to prove yourself. And that was a fine example of that today.
Pat, what's your thoughts on that, about Rashford as well? And any other sort of noticeable inclusions in the first starting lineup?
Erik ten Hag wants certain aspects from people. He wants professionalism. Today, Marcus Rashford didn't carry out probably one of his 5 commandments that he expects from his players. Now, if he did that, everybody has to do what they're asked. It's not a big thing. He could have had a good reason. It doesn't make a difference. Erik ten Hag's the boss. He done the right thing. Was I shocked today? I was a little bit shocked. I thought I would have seen Harry Maguire back into the squad. Maybe his illness is probably, he could have had a chest illness, could be phlegm in the lungs, probably not fit for 90 minutes. Probably Erik ten Hag doesn't want to bring him in too soon. Probably feels that Luke Shaw deserves to be in there at the same time. Malacia deserves to be in there. We have a lot of games. There's going to be a lot of rotation. And maybe he doesn't feel it's necessary to rush Harry Maguire back into the squad. After that, I think the squad kind of picked itself after that. I had no problem with Garnacho starting over Rashford, by the way. I thought Garnacho was a good addition. Nice bit of energy, young, fresh legs, eager. He'll test that Wolves team. But good choice by Erik ten Hag today.
It's interesting that we say, we've seen the Ronaldo saga, and that was a real test of the manager, wasn't it? To see how he dealt with that. And everyone seems to be quite behind him, supporting the manager after that. So if we can do it to Rashford as well, who's our top goal scorer, and the main guy come back from the World Cup, that just speaks volumes about what sort of guy he is. Now, do you have to get a balance right, Brush, between being, like you were saying earlier, about being disciplinarian an arse.
Absolutely, and
A
for the most,
dictator.
yeah, and for the most part, for the time being, I think he's doing a brilliant job of it. A lot of Rashford's form this year as well, I credit to him, because this time last year we didn't really know where we were going to go with Rashi, so he's come on leaps and bounds.
Most certainly, most certainly. What about the rotation in midfield? You started with Casemiro and Eriksen again. No issues there. You're quite happy with that. No burnout issues at all. Is there anyone else that could come in? What about McTominay? I haven't seen him for a while. And lastly, the front three. Anthony, there's been a few question marks about him. Is there an argument to say that he could be sort of dropped at some point soon, based on form and performance? You two.
Sorry.
No, Bruce, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like Pat was saying, the games are going to come thick and fast. So no doubt squad management is going to be imperative. And I'm sure Eric will do that going forward. But for the time being, I just felt as though he likes his settled team. And I think, like what Pat was saying as well on the Maguire thing, I was a little bit surprised that he wasn't there. But then, Luke Shaw's done well. So I just think it's about continuity. And that's what he's doing at the moment.
And before we go into the performance today, we're going to talk about the actual performance in the game here. Just to finish up, the starting lineup was De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka. We did touch on him. We're going to talk about his performance coming up, but he's been included into the squad. There's no one else really at the moment to play right back, unless you're going to put a centre back or a left back in there. So I think that's no real issues there. Varane and Shaw, as you mentioned, Shaw's been played again. Pat was saying that Harry Maguire could have came in, and Malacia, who's starting to get games again, and we're seeing the value of him having him in the side. He's a little bulldog, isn't he? Eriksen, Casemiro, Garnacho, obviously for Rashford, Bruno, who played. Well, I'm going to go into that. Bruno played today. Anthony and Martial as well. Just quickly, Martial. There's all these issues about striker, a central striker. Martial's the main guy at the moment, isn't he? He's the main guy who's doing that role and seems to be really quick to do what the managers want him from, that sort of guy in that position. Sorry, do you guys still agree that we need a central striker?
Absolutely.
Oh yes, massive. If not, we need a central, mature striker. If we don't need a youthful striker as well, so two strikers is what I feel we need. I don't feel we need another Cavani on a 2-year signing, but we do need at least two strikers. Okay,
fair enough. We're going to go through some comments quickly now. Football versus Ganser. He's saying Marcus Rashford, take a bow, sir. As you know, he scored today. Bill Badger saying still not having a disallowed goal. Should have been 2. Quickly on that one, should it have been ruled off for handball?
I mean, by the letter of the law, it did come off his hand, didn't it? I don't think he could do anything about it, to be honest. But it's one of those.
Okay, accidental, no, but right, fair enough. TalkMU in his alias, not Football versus Cancer, as himself, he's saying not the best performance in the attacking sense, but overall performance was good, and we are heading in the right direction. That's a great comment there. Laughing at Bill. Bill Badger saying, Omundi, Pat and Brush. Big up to Bill Badger. Glory. So Marcus Rashford says, our very own rebel. UK Stranger saying, winning when you don't play well is great in team progression. Ten Hag is effing at the wheel. So love of Ten Hag there. Massive 3 points, says Rebel, at the walls. They will be a pain to play for any team in 2023. Bill Badger said Anthony is one of the most frustration players. He has all the tools, but hardly uses them. Can we just quickly touch on that again? Anthony, do you agree with this statement here, guys?
I do.
It's going to take time, isn't it? It's going to take time.
Okay. Well, we agree with you then, Bill. Half the panel too. Rebel saying, I think one thing the game showed is that we need a striker to support Rashi. Martial as well. Yeah, we all agreed on that, Rebel. Good point. Big up to Solo. He's actually not working today, which is unusual for him on a Saturday. So big up. He's getting his haircut earlier rather than watching the game. I'm calling you out. Real fan you are. Bill Badger is saying Rashi used pure strength to score that goal. Yes, he did. He threw the defence. Get off me like an annoying fly. Get on the ground, Johnny. Johnny. Go on. Howdy Solo. Fred changed the game again. And finally, Fred Trim looks slick. Pure Coolio vibes with his hairstyle. Performance, guys. First half. Obviously, Garnacho We had a counter press, didn't we, in the 16th minute? Garnacho was played in by Ericsson, who I think just plays his beautiful balls. Just it's like second nature to him. Pop, pop, play you into your stride. He messed it up, but Salcido messed it up as well. Tried to play back to the keeper. Garnacho's staring at the keeper one-on-one. What should he have done there, man? Because I think he should have scored. Pat.
Oh, I would have seen him drop the shoulder out to the left and go around the goalkeeper. Yeah. But that's even though he has, I'm sorry for a bit of a for a bit of a dictate. Even though he has all the skills in the world, he's still a kid, and he's going to go home tonight, and that's going to eat him up. And the next time he does that in a game of football, do you know what he's going to do? He's going to drop that shoulder and he's going to go around that goalkeeper.
And that's exactly what it is, Pat. And that kind of composure usually comes with a bit of maturity. You know, he is a young kid. He's very excited and happy just to be out there. So those things will come in time. I'm more happy that he got into the position and got the shot at his age.
Thanks to Ericsson, beautiful pass.
Yeah. And that's the one exciting thing about us at the moment. Like, even when we're being frustrated, the chances we're creating is beautiful to see.
Now, do you think that was the difference between the two sides? Because when I look at it, we did create, as you said earlier, Brush, we did create a lot of clear-cut chances where we should have scored plenty of goals. They could have been.
And this is the thing, guys. Like, you know, it's going to take one or two more windows as well, one or two personnel changes. But when we get those right players in with the same chances we're creating now, it's going to be a whole different story.
No, certainly.
Now, while you're talking about that same chance, after Garnacho missed it, the ball came back out and it fell to Anthony's feet. Okay, now, from where I was watching it, from the camera angle, I could see it looked like that he was apprehensive about going for the ball. And the difference between Anthony and the way Marcus Rashford went for his second goal was Marcus Rashford looked like he was ready to burst through a brick wall to get that ball. Anthony didn't look like he had the same mentality. So I think Anthony's problem at the moment is a little bit of a mentality thing as well. He's not 100% fit. He's not 100% sharp. He hasn't got himself in that Rashford mentality mind where he wants my ball, my goal. And that's the difference at the moment between some of our players coming back from the World Cup, some of them not fully fit, some of them are only coming and getting their heads together.
You know what? You know, we love to interact with the comments, and I'm going to throw a few comments at you guys. I want you to chew on this. Zoe saying, if Rashford doesn't score, who else is going to score the goals? First half was a real wake-up call. We're just talking about the Garnacho chance. I mean, we're creating chances, though, still, aren't we?
Christian Eriksen corner after 5 minutes. Casemiro headed that ball. It was looking like even the Wolves defenders were standing there going, my God, where did that come from? And it only went over the bar narrowly. So I'm telling you, it's good to see it from a set piece as well. But Omundi, we don't get a lot of them. We've been asking for them, you know. So
Brush, you know, Rashford, he scored like double. He's got 11 goals now, something like that. Are we heavily dependent on him? He's not a 40 striker. He's playing off the left more time. I mean,
obviously we don't. Obviously, we don't have a proper focal point as of yet. So, and I've said this in the past that, you know, for the time being, the goals are going to come from the system. So they're going to be spread out. It's going to come from everywhere. Luckily for us, Rashford has stepped up to the plate. How long it's going to last for, we don't know. We just have to ride it out. But I think Pat touched on it. We probably need two strikers. With regards to, you know, everything that's going on with the Glazers right now, I'm not too confident about the January window, but I'm hoping we get somebody in through the door, even if it's on loan.
Yeah, good shout. Just a couple more comments here. Say hi to Big G. He's obviously buzzing right now. Solo saying, haha, Monday, I need to look good. It's New Year. Solo always looks good. I went to see him the other day in his shop. And
I bet he's got a fancy suit for tonight as well.
Oh, my God. In fact, every day of the week, I was in my tracksuit, looking all casual, and I couldn't even stand next to him. I just looked, it was embarrassing. He was so sharp. Big up to you, Solo. Bruno had another shocker. Zoe, this is from Zoe. Can we just touch on this? We will go to performance very soon about player ratings, but do you agree Bruno had a shocker?
No way, Jose Mourinho. Not a hope do I agree with that. I doesn't get, like, the 29th minute, Anthony Martial had a chance. The ball went out to Anthony to Bruno. Bruno into Martial. Now, Martial missed his shot, but at the same time, nobody's given the recognition to Bruno for getting that ball into him. Rashford's first goal, who did he 1-2 the ball with? Bruno again. People aren't giving him the recognition.
Zoe hate
people. I know it's not just Zoe, and I'm not picking out on Zoe there. My own family, friends are saying the same thing. You need to watch the overall game. You need to watch his movement.
You know what it is, Pat? It's because some of what he does goes under the radar. It's because they were used to that big impact when he first arrived with all the goals and assists. I think that kind of deludes things a bit, you know. So it looks like a massive drop off. I thought he was very good at the World Cup. If he can play like that for us, yeah, I'll be chuffed.
If we had Martial, Rashford, Sancho, firing on all cylinders, I think them three bring the best out in each other.
I'll tell you what, that could be the key for us. That could be like a new signing when he eventually does come back, Jayden.
They bring the best out in each other. I can't explain it, but when it happens, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You know what? Like the Bruno thing, look, we're here to sort of critique players and everything else. And I'm interested to know more about what your point is here, Zoe. Just enlighten us a bit more about what you're saying about Bruno having a shocker, because I thought he played pretty well, but maybe I'm listening.
Yeah, maybe.
Kalula here saying, I love the fact that Rashford held his own and wasn't bullied in the box.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, man. Big G saying Bruno definitely had a shocker. Should be dropped now, just like the others. So there you go. There's two people in the comments who are saying something. So yeah, we're not just dismissing it. We're just interested to know your point. Rashford's been on the Magnum Guinness punch. You know,
he's taking something to me.
Bill Baggio saying, I don't think we can afford to drop Bruno, even if he's plays bad and things don't come off. He puts in the shift. Kalula is saying, I think people are being harsh when it comes to Bruno. He's been dedicated and plays a lot of percentage-wise. Bruno done well for us. Rebel saying here, interesting to Bracca, wasn't on the bench. Sounds like he's going back to Newcastle. He's not getting enough game time. Want to say hi to Los Stella. Everyone say hi to Los Stella, man. Main guy, coach of a great Sunday football team who are doing really good, really talented side. I
Thanks
wish
for the clip.
Los Stella. He's saying Rashford's been eating some sweet potato. Big G saying, it's very rare I disagree with you, Bill, but on this occasion I do. It's okay to disagree, guys. That's what we're here for. Bill Badger saying, it's all about opinions, Big G, but I forgive you for being wrong. Sounds like Brian.
He sounds like Roy Keane there. Your opinion's valid, but in this case, you're wrong.
Brian Clapper said, yeah, if we disagree, we sit down, have a meeting, and decide I was right at the end of it. There you go, Big Bill Baggio. Rebel saying, Sarr's an incredible keeper. He will cook in a Ten Hag style football because of his distribution. Great saves as well today. I opinions like bum holes. Everyone had one. Yeah. Paddy, how you doing? Paddy said, he always says Rashford. Rashford. We are stumped. Don't rely on Martial. And say hi. Kalula saying hi to Los Stella. Everyone say hi to Los Stella. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. And top footballing guy as well. Right, performance. Wan-Bissaka, he made a brilliant tackle in the 24th minute. People have been criticizing him. He went to ground in the box, but he timed to perfection. Clap! Take that and get the ball out of my house. Wan-Bissaka, what do you think of that tackle, guys?
Yes, I loved it. And he done a similar tackle on Hugo Bueno out on the side, and I was saying, yes, the spider is back. He's getting the confidence. It's all about confidence. Like last year, we could not get a tune out of Luke Shaw. The fella's playing left side of centre back for us this year. That speaks volumes of the manager.
In a two, Pat. In a two.
Yeah. What do you think, Bruce?
Yeah, listen, like this again. I just want to wax lyrical about our manager. Like this is another one where we thought, listen, there's no hope for him. He's a complete write-off. There was that friendly against Cadiz a couple of weeks ago during the World Cup where I was like, it looked like a shocking game as well. He looked shocking in that. I was like, oh, I don't even know who's going to loan him in Jan. And look at the change. Look at the turnaround. Got his head down, worked hard. The manager entrusted him, and it's paying off. It's paying off. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's really interesting that, isn't it? That people can get confidence and come back and decide.
Yeah.
And most of us, right? I wrote him off. I would say, look, best to sell him. Maybe his confidence would be shot, but he doesn't see.
And this is an interesting point, lads. Like with how skinny our squad is, personally, I wouldn't get rid of anyone in Jan.
Yeah, very good point.
Upgraded, but not get rid of.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we should always be on the lookout for an upgrade, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm not confident in the Jan window because of everything that's going on with the potential sale and stuff. So, you know, but I honestly, at this moment in time, I wouldn't get rid of anyone. We need to keep everyone together.
One thing I just have to say about Luke Shaw, I know Diego Costa's on the wrong side of his career, right? But he looked strong and composed about a fella who was much bigger, much aggressive. And let's get out. He get up here. He get your back up, you know. And he was holding him off. He was strong. He was seeing him out to the line. And it took till the 27th minute for Diego Costa to show his true colours. And he gave poor old Luke Shaw a good old wallop and sent him to the ground. And what does that show you? Frustration, because the man's doing a good job. So that speaks volumes for Luke Shaw.
And I'll tell you what, I wonder if he's been taking some tips from Lissandro in training as well.
Yeah, quite possibly. Sometimes when you're playing centre back like that, you don't.
Yeah.
Against Nottingham Forest, he didn't have many duels because Nottingham Forest
Mm.
sat back. They weren't really testing him in that sense. But today he was up against it a bit more, and I'm really watching him today. And I thought he's not really. He don't. Sometimes if you read the game that well, you don't have to get dirty. You don't have to get touch tight with people. You can just read it, pull off, and do things. And he understood that sometimes if the guy's going to get the ball, there's no point coming through a man like that. Just wait and just hold him up.
Yeah. The only time I was concerned on these, I think when his natural instincts kicked in, when he made a darting run forward, I was like, "Oh, we lost possession now. You're not going to get back in time." And then Fred had to make a tactical foul.
But that's another two things I noticed today. Is as great as Anthony, he wasn't great today, but when Wan-Bissaka was bombing forward, there was once or twice Anthony came back and he backed him up.
Yes, he was
held
backtracking
position
today.
for him,
Yeah.
and he done well. So, like, as much as I'm critical of Anthony, I have to give him plaudits for the other things he was doing. So I'm not just sitting here slating Anthony. He's working for the team. And on the same on the left hand side, young Malacia Garnacho formed a little bit of a bomb today. Little overlapping runs. Malacia 1-2 with Garnacho.
Right at the death there as well. Malacia made a very important challenge.
Malacia got the ball in, and it was headed to Martial. I don't know whether Martial deliberately tried to head it out to the right to Anthony, but I don't know which header was worse, or Martial meant it. I don't know what you think, lads.
You know what? I've written down here Fox in the box for that chance there, because we need someone who's going to finish their dinner. Those were they were spoon fed, both of them. No excuse. Martial with the first one, boom, put that away. He always side foots things. He doesn't put his laces behind the boot, behind the shot, and he doesn't really bury it. And you can't be trusted with you need to have that in your arsenal if you're playing a central striker. A header like that should be bread and butter. Boom, good morning, bang that in the goal, and he didn't. And same with Anthony as well. Lackluster. Come on, guys, put your foot through it, put your head through it, even if it hurts. Don't close your eyes. Get in there. That was a great opportunity to score. And like you said, Malacia getting raiding, getting down there, and dinking nice balls in like that. Fair play to him. Brush, what do you think of that last chance of the half?
Yeah, again, I think you've already touched on it, mate. Yeah, it was just very wasteful. I'm just glad that it didn't cost us today, because it could have been very different if we didn't take the chance that we had. Especially the amount we were missing. It looked like it was going to be one of those days.
Most certainly. All right, going into the second half, guys. We haven't got much time. I'm going to speed through this now. Just want to say this. What I found really, look, we've been developing as a side. And as Brush says, it's about the system that makes us work. Third man runs, pop, 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 and go. These are ways you can break down teams, stubborn as wolves. And I saw some really effective plays today with Bruno, Anthony, and Wan-Bissaka on one side, and as Pat was saying, on the other side as well. Third man runs, not just 1-2s. 1-2, yep, simple. We read that like a book. But third man runs, pop, 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 you're in. That's how we got to get these guys and get Anthony isolated one-on-ones in one-on-one situations. Same with the other Rashford or Garnacho on the other side. So I'm really pleased by that. Second half, obviously, we were popping the ball around. I thought Eriksen was playing really well, and then the goal comes because the sub was made at half time. Garnacho came off. Do you think that was to do with tactical thing? Because Garnacho had a few chances. That will kill his confidence, is it? Bringing Rashford on so soon at half time. What's that saying?
No, I don't think that does anything for his confidence. I think he would just be chuffed to have got a full 45 minutes and a start under his belt.
Fair play, fair enough. So Rashford's goal, let's talk us through it. I know you're a man like to write down details, Pat. Talk us through the Rashford's goal, please.
No, it was Rashford picking the ball up outside the box and playing it to Bruno. Bruno playing the 1-2. He darts through the defenders, gets it on his right foot, and it was like the half space, but in the box, takes the shot back to net. And I couldn't be happier for Marcus Rashford, because it just shows before people are saying he's head down, he's direct. He knew what he was doing today. And Bruno, little kindred spirits, 1-2s with each other. Fantastic. And this is where we need Sancho back as well, because Sancho has that as well. They just cross each other, and it's the play. They're looking for each other. So it's like Bruno and Martial and Rashford have it. We're just missing Sancho for that final piece.
Anything to add to that, Brush? I mean, the goal, what's Rashford got? Is it just luck and confidence you're going through?
For me, the key thing about today, right? Like, one of the things I've always criticized him over the years is his decision making. And today he was oozing confidence, and you could see that no one was going to barge him off that ball. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he did it. He executed. Yeah. Even in the second goal, the disallowed one, you see the way he forced that chance. Like, that was something out of nothing.
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, that's the goal. There was other chances in the second half. Just go through a couple of comments here. I want to say hi to Guna Gumza. Go and check out Armory TV. Guna, how you doing, Gumza, man? Big respect to you. Hope everyone's well with you and your family and having a happy holiday and all that kind of thing. Rebel's just asking here, does Dello have his work cut out to get his shirt back? Imagine we wouldn't have said this a few weeks ago, would we? That's a question.
Yeah, that's mad.
And what a lovely problem to have.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's what Swap is all about. The lovely Kalula, she's saying, I do want more from Anthony. But it's nice that he's a team player.
Yeah.
Like I said in the other show, Martial can never be the main one. He needs to be realistic to be part of the team or leave. This is from Kalula about Martial. Emma Kay is saying Anthony made the assist before the assist for Rashford's second goal, and that is what he is going to bring us and the space for other players. He's not going to give you 20 goals a season. So we have to understand the qualities of his game. Big G saying at this level, all our players need to start using their football initiative and break the tactical norm because it becomes a bit predictable. So we have to find a system to break these teams down, which I think we did create a few chances today. It's getting better. Paddy saying Rebel, Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, no for me. As we know, Paddy.
No surprises there, Paddy.
Yeah, and I want to say hi to the Silver Fox, the silver one. He's from Armory TV as well. They're tuning in. Are they scared? Are they worried, these Arsenal fans? Sitting on their perch, suddenly having to tune into the Man United agenda when we see them closing the gap. And we will see you on the 22nd of January for the rematch. This is part 2 of our killing spree of Arsenal this season. Man United are back. He's being sarcastic. Yeah.
Would this be a coincidence that we happen to be in top 4 all of a sudden?
Exactly. Someone's
I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to their game against Newcastle on Tuesday. That should be a cracker.
Okay, brilliant. I want to see them against City and Arsenal, Liverpool, and all these top sides. Really, they've done really well this season, haven't they, Arsenal?
Yeah, they haven't played Man City yet, though. I think the first one got postponed or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they're really at.
Just on Rashford's goal on Monday, like Eric Ten Hag dropped him for being late to a pre-meeting. All right, it's not personal. You just need to be professional. Who was jumping around the sideline like a madman when Rashford scored? Eric Ten Hag. So he has to be professional, has to keep him in line, but it's not personal. The man loves the fella, jumping up and down like he's one of us in the sideline. And we don't actually see that a lot. So it was obviously a bit of frustrating building up because it was such a tense game. Wolves played well. Let's not take it away from them. What I thought Wolves done very well. And the manager, all credit to the manager.
Someone was talking about nosebleeds and hot potato. Emma's saying here, Wan-Bissaka may not have had a 10 out of 10 game, but he looked confident and ready for it compared to last game where he looked a bit nervous and shaky. So that comes with experience of playing games, match fitness and that kind of thing. Let's talk about that handball goal because it was Wan-Bissaka who ended up with a nosebleed in the box and he had the ball in that area and he didn't know what to do. Well, I'm being cruel, really. I think he got the ball in that position in the box with players around him and he popped it off to Rashford who rolled the man, tried to dink the keeper, came off his arm again and went in. So you have to appreciate Wan-Bissaka getting in those areas and popping it off, doing the good decision making. And Rashford for his spinning run, holding off his defender again with strength, brute strength, as they said with the Guinness Irish Moss or the Guinness Punch or whatever these guys say in the comments. Real strength, real turn, real clinical kind of finishing, dinking the keeper. Unfortunately, it was handball. We talked about this earlier. Can we talk about this? Because I think that should be given. Because where you're supposed to move your hand when you dink the keeper, it's come off the keeper, it's bounced off.
You really can't do anything about it, Omundi. It's in the way, innit? What can you do?
Is it because the ball changed the direction of the play? Is it?
I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. That's why I think it's very unfortunate because if you play that back, even without his hand there, it would have hit his chest and it still would have gone in.
Yeah. True. Any more chances you want to talk about second half? We happy with performance? We happy with the man management of making the subs at the right time to secure the win? We've seen that a lot. At 1-0, when we go 1-0 up, it tends that the manager does the right job to give us the points. Do you want to just talk about that quickly about how the in-game management?
Before you do, I'll just give you a little quote on the handball rule, just so we're all aware of it. A goal is scored by the arm stroke hand of an attacking player, or if the ball touches an attacking player's hand, arm in the immediate goal scoring build-up play. So a handball can be called if the arm gives the player an unfair advantage, even if the attacker's arms are close to the body in a natural position. So, lads, unfortunately, it's just the rules are the rules.
See, that's the bit I don't get though, Pat, because I don't think that gave him an advantage. Like, even if his hand weren't there, it still would have.
He'd have to have his arms inside a t-shirt brush.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't change the trajectory of anything. It would have just hit his chest, and it would have went in the same way.
Yeah,
that's my point. I do
Yeah.
agree. I'm just not. Like I said, I don't have the rule book to hand. I just think sometimes you have to use your common sense.
I can understand if it was intentional. If somebody intentionally put their hand out to direct the ball, but that's not what happened there. Unfortunate.
But there's another chance for us, though, don't you think? And
yeah,
just going back to my point I was trying to make about in-game management from the manager securing the win at 1-0 and not preventing them from long-range free kicks, set pieces. They didn't really break us down, even when Churi came on and tried to sort of run us. We managed him pretty well, I felt.
And in terms of their free kicks, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm very nervy anytime I see Ruben Neves step up. And what a performance by David De Gea today.
All right, let's go through match ratings then. Now we're considering that. We've done our performance. Let's go to player ratings. Let's talk about De Gea quickly. You can start with that then. Was it just the free kick saves or in general?
Well, no, there was a save right at the end as well. He didn't have too much to do, but then what he did do saved us points. So,
guys, in the comments, what would you score De Gea based on today? Is he the main man now? Has he really secured his place? I'm going to give him a 5. It was average. He should have saved
a 5.
Yeah, average.
I thought it was better than average. Omundi, come on.
Omundi Juma, you heartless man. You heartless man. David De Gea is at home crying into his big Man United pillow.
Listen, there was large parts of the game where he didn't have too much to do, but then, he was active and made some very crucial, important ones. And that's what the best keepers do. They turn up in the big moments.
8 and Bill Badger saying 7 for De Gea. What's your scores, guys?
I'm giving him an 8 because when you're called into action, even though you haven't had a lot to do in a game and you produce the goods, De Gea was on form today. So
exactly.
8 from me. It would have been 1-1.
It's unanimous. Yeah, it's an 8 from me as well, Pat.
All right, well, that's going to come down to 7.5 because the average reduce that score. I'm staying still. I'm becoming like Paddy. Even Paddy, imagine that, the irony. Paddy's saying that I'm ruthless.
Now you messed up.
No, hold on. The score has to go up. McKay said a 9. It's back up.
Oh, well, there we go. It's gone out.
Back up to an 8.
Averages at an 8. Well done, De Gea. Anyway, defense as a unit. Just talk about a couple of players, guys. Score them out for me, please. As a defense, as a unit, and individual players, please. Let's fire away. Let's be punchy. Pam, pam. Let's go.
I would give defense an 8 today. I think Malacia, Shaw, Varane, Aaron Wan-Bissaka all played well. Malacia, Aaron Wan-Bissaka doing very well carrying the ball out. Even Luke Shaw was doing that at times. So I give them all an 8. I think they all done well today. And even though Wolves didn't have a very strong attacking lineup, but they have a good team, I think we've done well against them today. They tried to break us down many a times.
So they're all getting 8. That's nice. Clean sheet as well. Brush, do you want to single out a player as well? Maybe Wan-Bissaka and the defense unit, please.
Collectively as a unit, I think they all did pretty well. If I have to single out anyone for praise, it's probably going to be Luke Shaw, just because this is so very new to him. And the way he slotted in, I've been pleasantly surprised. I know we've seen him before in a back 3 as a left-sided centre-back, but in a 2, I had my concerns, and he's done it back-to-back now.
Okay. Big G's cutting me out here, saying Omundi's been knocking about Paddy too much. Most certainly, he's rubbing off on me. Clueless saying here, what were you watching? De Gea's been here for so long, and even though he didn't have a lot to do, when he was needed, he was there. We will miss him when he goes. So she's a big fan of
Get him, Kalula, get him.
Yeah, that's right. And be told. Paddy saying Varane got a 10 for him. He felt Varane was outstanding.
Listen, I don't think we have to worry about that just yet. I think David's going to be here for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Rebel saying De Gea 8, back 4 was 7, midfield was 7, centre to 10, centre 2, Eriksen with a 6. I thought he was outside, and front 3, 6. Okay, there you go. You can read that for yourself, guys. Let's talk about the midfield, including Bruno. So you got Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. All do different jobs, but they all function for the team. Let's talk about them individually. Give them a score, please. Just a little summary about what they did effective today. Start with you, Brush.
Let's go with the 2 in Eriksen and Casemiro. They just have a very good understanding, and we know what we're getting with them now, game in, game out. They're giving us solid 7s at least, and that's what we want to see. In the last game, Casemiro was amazing, and in this one, it was probably went under the radar. But that's kind of what you want from your DM, you know. A lot of what they do should be going under the radar. Shouldn't be the main talking point.
Rush, I want to ask you: is he a DM, or would you say he's just a centre midfielder?
For me, he's more than that. So he is a DM, but he gets forward, and there's other elements to his game as well.
Okay.
Like if we go back to the olden days of the guys like Patrick Vieira, yes, they were a DM, but they could also get involved in the attacks and maraud forward. And he's one of those. You can mix it with the best of them.
So you're giving them 7s.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruno, do you want to throw Bruno in there as well as a midfielder?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Bruno as well. Again, I don't think he had that bad of a game today, to be honest. So yeah, I would have scored him a 7.
So okay, so 3 7s there from our man Brush. Midfield 3 for you, Pat?
I think Casemiro was excellent again. I actually thought you played a little bit further forward this week, more than usual. So I'm going to give him an 8 because he's getting up there. He's getting involved in set pieces. He's doing everything that we've missed. He's a legend. Eriksen, first half, excellent. I just think he failed a little bit in the second half. I don't know whether he's picked up a little injury or what it was, or I think Adam Traore was just too much of a nuisance for him, and that's what he brought on the legs of Fred just to get up and down that pitch and keep up with Traore and the whole Wolves midfield. So it'll be 8 for Casemiro, 6 for Eriksen, and it'll be, I have to give a 7 for Bruno.
Just going here to the comments, Emma saying, I keep thinking Shaw's totally out of position all the time. Obviously seeing him in an unfamiliar position like centre back, you know. And Bill Badger is saying, responding to Emma, saying, I could swear I've seen penalty decision change because the ball bounced like Rashford's did and hit him on the arm of the defender. So no goal. So in Rashford's case, surely should be a goal. He disagrees with the decision. Big G saying Casemiro gets a 7, Eriksen a 7, Bruno a 2, and that's being nice.
Oh.
It's something we need to have a show on this. What is the issue with Bruno?
Yeah, we're going to have a Bruno debate.
Kalula's saying here, Eriksen gets an 8, and I agree with Kalula. I thought Eriksen's outstanding. He's someone special for our team. You can't replace this guy. And even though Casemiro a 7.
Even though he didn't play a full game, you still give him an 8. Now, I know he was excellent in the first half. No denying that.
Just think the things he does, like the through ball to Garnacho. There was a time when the ball got played to him in a tight area. Any other player, Fred, even Casemiro, would have fumbled and because they were just about to get munched. He read it even before the ball came to him. He knew exactly what to do. One touch, control, kill it, and played it into the next man. It was just unbelievable. That was the moment of the gap match for me. Seeing Eric, so I was like, I was buzzing. I saw him do that. I don't know if you remember it, but ball got played to him in the middle of the park. He was about to get munched by 2 guys closing him down, and just one touch and then passed it out. So cool. And he's just like, I'm just too cool with this, you know? He's just the man, in my opinion. So he gets an 8 just on that alone. Guys, we're coming to the front 3. More focus on Anthony, please. And give us a little boost about Garnacho with the things he's done today. So Garnacho started with Martial up front and Anthony on the right. Pat, fire away.
I liked Garnacho today. I thought he was lively. He came on. How do you pronounce the chap's name? Semedo, is it?
Yeah.
Gave him an awful time. Was swinging out of him a couple of times. Tried to pull him down, muscle him. So I think he done really well for a young lad in there. And like what we said about his chance on goal, that is going to eat him up. And the next time you see him in that position, he'll drop the shoulder. He'll go out to the left. Depending on how far he goes around the goalkeeper, he'll take the shot or he'll put it back across the line for somebody else following in to get the ball into the back of the net. So Garnacho, I think he's done really well for a young lad in a hard game today. So I'm going to give him a 7. Anthony, he just needs a bit more pep in his step. He worked as a team player today. He just needs to show a bit more of the Marcus Rashford mentality at the moment. That's all. And Martial, I think he was missing Rashford in that first half. I think he really did. He suits having him with him, the kind of a kindred spirit connection with them. They're not quite York and Cole, but they just work really well together. Just like Anthony, he needs to get a bit of a pep in the step as well. That header, no excuse for him missing in that box today. So he gets, I think I'll just give them all, I think it was a 7 for Garnacho and a 6 and a 6.
Scorelines are firing in right now. Boxer saying Anthony would be a great 5-side cage player. You're from South London, Brush. That's also all the rage out there, isn't it? Cage football.
Yeah, we do have 5-a-side cages.
So your scorelines, please, Brush.
Yeah, I think I'm in line with Pat in terms of Garnacho. I think he was the brightest spark in the first half in our forward line. And yeah, I'll give the young lad a 7. The others underwhelmed me, Martial and Anthony. Yeah, somewhere between a 5 and a 6.
Okay. And any honourable mentions for the subs? We had Elanga come on. We had Donny. But what about Donny van der Beek? He came on and I think done a lot of running. Gave away. We had a fast break at one point, and his decision making was a bit off. And then Rashford was asking for a ball for another fast break, and Donny van der Beek didn't give him the ball correctly, and Rashford was visibly undermining him by saying that was basically, Donny van der Beek. Any thoughts? Is there any improvement? You see any sort of future for him?
What do you think, Bruce?
It must be difficult when you do come on for these cameo appearances and all eyes are on you. Like, you need to build up game time and get some kind of momentum going. So it must be difficult for him. Yeah, decision making wasn't the best. I know the chance you're talking about where, it was like a 3-on-2 situation and the pass he did make, it wasn't the best option. But yeah, these are the kind of things that come with regular football, isn't it? So it's one of those.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, guys, that's the player ratings. My man in the match is going to be Eriksen. I've got my own stupid reasons for things,
Did we not talk about Rashford? No.
Oh,
did we give?
What about Rashford?
I don't think we gave him a player rating, did we?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's talk Rashford then. Yeah, let's talk Rashford.
Yeah, I kind of left. I kind of left that till last because obviously he's the man of the hour and made all the difference for us today. So you have to give it to him. He turned the game on its head. Without him, we drop point.
Now that Omundi Juma has chosen Eriksen as his man of the match, I'm going to give Rashford a 10.
So yeah, I don't know. Take your pick if you want to go 8.5 or 9. But yeah, I was going to give a high grading to Rashi.
I hope that
just quickly here, Garnacho 6, Anthony 4, Martial 4, says Bill Baggio. I'm just trying to see if there's any more. All right, we've got Kalula here saying Garnacho 7, Anthony 6, Martial 5. So it's not great stuff, but here we go. Stuart Marshall's just repeat what you guys are saying, especially Pat giving him a 10. So Rashford, you effing legend. Rashford gets a 9 from Kalula as well. And Happy New Year from Stuart. Big up, Stuart. Everyone give him a wave. Yeah. That's the player ratings. You said man of the match. Both you said Rashford, so I'm outnumbered. It's going to be after Rashford today. But there's also one here from Vincent saying man of the match going to David Diet.
Yeah, listen, that's a great shout as well. I haven't got any issues with that. Either Rashi or De Gea.
Big up Box. He's saying a lot of 6s today, in his opinion. Any other business, guys, that we want to discuss before we move on? Any other news floating around we just want to touch on?
Not really. I just want to wish everyone a happy new year and that.
Just to clarify, can you just clarify? So Rashford was 9 minutes late for a team meeting. Is that what it was?
Yeah, a pre-match meeting.
Pre-match meeting, okay. So I accept the punishment. He came undone the business. That's a good way to answer it and not strop about it. And it shows everyone throughout the club that the manager is in charge and we have some sort of hierarchy. And even kids and adults need discipline if you want to do well in life. And I think that's what the manager's putting down. So I'm really happy overall. Great game to win 1-0. You know what I'm like, win 1-0, see the game out, manage it like that. I was really impressed. What we're doing lately, we're restricting other teams to chances where in open play. If teams might score from set plays, whatever, I can accept that, or score a worldie. But we're really sort of locking teams down with our system.
And we're very organised, Omundi. We're making these tactical changes to shore things up at the right times, late into games, and it's working.
Lads, I've changed my mind.
What
Erik ten Hag's getting the man of the match. He has to get it right. He's disciplined Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford came off the bench and scored, if not 2 goals, if one was disallowed. He's made the changes at the right time. Even though he took off one of our superstars in Christian Eriksen, he brought on Fred to counteract the substitute of Toure. The game could have ran away with us at that stage, and it didn't. So I must say, I think he's handled the game very well today. And I'm sure that game would have been a lesson for him as well, because Wolves, as we kept saying in the preview show, is not an easy team to play.
Just before we go, it's the last day of the year. Brush, don't know if you saw on Friday night, we had a show called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. And there was a lot of gunslinging going around. So can you just give us the good, the bad and the ugly for Manchester United for the year of 2022, please? Top of the head, just like a speed round. Good. What's the good?
Well, the good is everything that's happening now. Eric Ten Hag is the good.
What's the bad?
What is the bad? The Glazers are the bad.
And what's been ugly in 2022?
The whole Ronnie saga was ugly. Yeah, it could have ended a lot nicer.
Most certainly, yeah. That's the majority. Most people said that, didn't they, Pat? They're on the same page as Brush there. But anyway, we're gone now. We'll be back on Monday with Andy Tate, 8:30. We've got shows throughout the week. Don't forget, we're back to 8:30 now. No more World Cup. Rest in peace, Pele. Forever, will be the greatest player in my eyes. And Rashford, keep striving, keep going forward. Man United, keep moving forward. Let's get that top 4. Let's secure it. And let's get these Arsenal fans back in our chat, because they'll be pooing themselves and they're having a scary time right now. But big up to Brush. Lovely to see you again. And big up to Pat as well, my regular on the post-match shows. We're signing out. Have a lovely weekend, guys, and Happy New Year. Good night.